Now at 9, Pitt State announces a $50 million project to bring new university developments downtown. Plus, a Joplin school is temporarily put on lockdown while police search for a vehicle theft suspect.
Just how confident should Americans be their Social Security and Medicare benefits will be there when they retire? I'm Caroline Shively in Washington. I'll have that story coming up.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
A big announcement from Pitt State this afternoon. A $50 million project that will expand the university's footprint in the Block 22 neighborhood. This is your KOAM News at 9. I'm Jalen Banks. The school says the keystone for the district will be a new building for the Health College of Business at 5th and Broadway on the property currently leased by BMO Harris Bank. The project also includes the redevelopment of the historic Bessie Hotel, the tallest building in Southeast Kansas. In addition to the university will partner with the Colonial Fox Theater to share space in a 2-story pavilion already planned by the theater to be built on the empty lot owned by the Fox.
While they're here at Pittsburgh State University, either as undergraduates or graduate students, by connecting them to our community more deeply, to our region more deeply, to our businesses more deeply, we hope to do multiple things. And primarily that is helping those businesses and communities to grow even while those students are here.
Of the total $50 million cost, the Pittsburgh State University Foundation already has $7 million in hand contributed by donors for the Kells College of Business portion. The university this week learned it's also getting a $12.5 million grant from the Kansas Department of Commerce. Private-public partnerships will be sought to shore up the gap. Construction is slated to start in 2024 with classes beginning in 2026. Chief Meteorologist Doug Hitty joins us with the first look at the weather.
Well, it actually turned out to be a decent day for us today. We got quite a bit of sunshine out there. Temperature is fantastic. Started at 35, 54 for a high, a good chunk above where we should be for this time of the year. But we do have another weak little system that's going to roll through tonight. You can see some showers starting to develop. Southeastern Kansas, even a little bit of snow once you get into our far western counties. A lot of this is not reaching the ground yet, but it will as we go through the overnight hours for us tonight. So we're going to watch these showers kind of creep southeast, but as we usher in a little bit cooler air, it's going to mix with and change over to a little bit of snow. We could get a couple little bands of moderate snow, but temperatures you can see are hovering just above freezing. It's not going to last long, but we could get some light accumulations with this late tonight into tomorrow morning. So we're going to break that down, look into the weekend here in just a bit.
All right, see you then. As Super Bowl weekend approaches, bickering between Chiefs and Eagles fans is common on social media. KOAM's Amber Jenkins spoke to a local coach about how good sportsmanship can impact the game.
Fans having passion for their favorite sports team or player drives the team morale. However, having bad sportsmanship can bring your team down when they need you the most.
I think it's respecting the opponents, respecting the work that they put in. And that's a huge piece. Obviously, everyone has their own opinion, and they're right. They have that right.
Sport referees are usually the punching bag for fans, especially during big games. But before you blame another championship game over a ref call, being a referee can change your view of sportsmanship.
Probably one of the best things I ever did as a coach was become an official early in my coaching career for another sport to kind of get a feel for what that's like. It's very tough. It's extremely difficult, and I can tell you every time that I went out, I just wanted to do a good job, do a fair job.
Coach Shorter knows good sportsmanship can turn the tides of a game. That's why a coach makes sure to let his players get another perspective of the game.
And I've had a lot of my kids actually officiate some youth games and things like that, just so they can get a feel of what it's like on that side. I think it gives them a different perspective and an important perspective that we all need at times.
Whether you're a fan or a player, being a good sport is one of the best ways you can rep your team well.
Our kids love the program and they want to be a part of it. They want to be a part of something positive.
Reporting in Carl Junction, Amber Jenkins, KOAM News.
Always remember, having a passion for sports does not give you a free ticket to be a bad sport. A Joplin school went into lockdown this morning as police searched for a theft suspect. Around 7 a.m., authorities in Webb City were chasing a stolen vehicle. That chase led into Joplin at the intersection of Zora and 249, where the suspect left the vehicle and ran. Authorities then got an alert of a suspicious person at College Heights Christian School. The suspect was the school was put on lockdown and searched, but the suspect was not found. This morning, a Carthage School District bus transporting students was involved in an accident at Chapel and Fur Road. All students were given the opportunity to be evaluated on scene by medical personnel. A few students did seek additional medical assistance. Parents were notified and arrangements were made to get students to school. A pet food factory in Miami, Oklahoma will soon have a new owner. Nestle Purina Pet Care announced plans to buy Red Collar Pet Foods in Miami. Purina has worked with the Red Collar team since 2022 to co-manufacture several pet treats under its Purina and Zooks brands. Red Collar says the sale underscores the quality of the Miami operations team. The Miami factory will be the 22nd Purina-owned operated facility nationwide. President Biden told seniors in Florida to look out for cuts to their benefits by the GOP. It's a claim Republicans deny. What happens if the two sides can't come to an agreement? Fox News correspondent Caroline Shively has answers from Washington.
For the third day in a row, President Biden warned Americans that some Republicans want to cut their Social Security and Medicare.
It's been a sacred trust, a rock-solid guarantee generations of Americans have counted on, and it works. And now these guys want to cut it.
Congressional Republicans claim those entitlements are off the table, and Mr. Biden knows it.
It's a lie. The guy's been lying, the whole time.
The president says Senator Scott himself has backed efforts to sunset federal legislation, including entitlements, every 5 years, meaning they'd have to be reauthorized and not guaranteed.
It's not likely to get voted out, but I'll tell you what, it's likely it got cut drastically.
President Biden is set to release his budget proposal in March, further detailing his plans for Social Security and Medicare. Democrats are now pressuring House Republicans to do the same.
Show us your plan. Do you want to cut Social Security or not? Do you want to cut Medicare or not?
The question remains, what happens if Republicans and Democrats can't come to an agreement about entitlement funds that are running out of money?
If we don't do anything, all we're going to do is crash and burn. So if that's the Democrat plan, then let people know that the minute we crash and burn, it's an immediate 20% slice to every senior citizen in their benefits.
A Fox News poll conducted around the midterms asked voters about Social Security. Only half said they were confident they'd be able to rely on those benefits in the future. In Washington, Caroline Shively, Fox News.
Coming up, a job fair in Ottawa County. Employers in Ottawa County today came together to host a job fair. Organizers say a recent meeting stressed the need to connect people looking for a job with local employers. So they gathered businesses from a variety of industries hiring for a variety of positions for the job fair.
We also have been hearing from people who say, I need a job. So somewhere in between there's been a disconnect. And so hopefully through an event like this today, we can put those people that have jobs together with those who need jobs and make some good positive connections today and get people back to work in Miami.
They were also hiring incentives and drawings for prizes at the fair. A Southeast Kansas organization is making a fundraiser look as easy as pie. The Masonic Lodge in Chanute sold chili and pie to raise money for a fund that community members can use to help pay for utilities and rent. In total, they sold 435 pies and 229 chili orders.
All of the churches donate. So the American Legion does the soup, and then we have 8 churches in the community that will get up at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning and make all the chili. And then they bring it in here.
The Masonic Lodge has been raising money for this fund for more than 40 years. One of the only birthing centers in Springfield is closing its doors at the end of this month. And now moms-to-be are scrambling for options before their due date. Reporter Elizabeth Van Meetry has their story.
Our baby, we don't know what we're having, so it's been a secret for us.
Jaden Cheryl is 36 weeks pregnant and still doesn't know the gender of the baby.
Should we just find out? No, we're already this far. We're gonna wait.
It's not the only thing they don't know about their baby. They don't know where he or she is being born either. The game plan was to deliver at the Family Birth and Wellness Center.
I heard that Family Birth and Wellness is closing. Are you still able to give birth there? And I was like, that's news to me. I'm 4 weeks away from delivering and I have not heard anything.
Some families got this email. Others say they did not. Some may still not know today. Kaylin King, a local doula, says the last 24 hours have been difficult for her clients who plan to use the center.
It's devastating and it's really, really sad, and I'm upset for our clients and I'm upset for our community.
Those planning to give birth in just a few weeks are now trying to figure out what to do next.
There are several other providers in town that will be able to step up and help, but this is just now so many people are having to step in and help these families when they were already at max capacity.
Mary Walsh was the former owner of the center. She sold it in 2021 after 10 years. She says finding help will be difficult.
Providers don't like to take people on late in pregnancy. They're usually booked up, and whether they're trying to find a new OB or a new midwife or whatever they're looking for, it's really difficult to even find care at this point.
And families are wondering how they're going to be able to afford this new expense.
The thing about birthing centers is they don't accept insurance, so we're already out of pocket thousands of dollars.
Some women say they haven't been able to get an answer on if they will get any of their money back or not. The center's owner, Dr. Stephen Lower, is a chiropractor that bought it last year. A post on the Family Birth and Wellness Facebook page says, in part, last year he was diagnosed with an aggressive form of cancer and was forced to be away from the practice for months. While Dr. Lower was out, the center lost a lot of employees, and he says they've been unable to hire staff. He also mentioned the business has been operating at a financial loss for some time. Dr. Lower promised in the Facebook post that they're developing a plan for the mothers to transition to other providers in town. And Doug is next with a complete look at the forecast, and later, a look at why mortgage rates took a jump.
Hey, it definitely turned out to be a nice one for us today. Temperatures actually pretty good as we went into the mid-50s during the afternoon. Nice shot, Indigo Sky Casino and Resort. Indigo just outside of Seneca, Missouri. We do have some clouds thickening up, and we have another weak little wave which is going to rotate through as we go through the overnight hours tonight. We got quite a bit of rain this week, which we need. I actually had a little bit earlier this morning, about 1/10 of an inch, 1.35 for the month for the year. 3 average is about 2.5. So at least we're going into the spring months doing pretty well. Look at our temps right now. Upper 30s, 39 in Nevada, 41 in Neosho, 42 in Miami. Pittsburgh is sitting at 41 degrees. We can go outside. Currently sitting at 40, northerly winds light at about 5 to 6 miles per hour. Humidity is at 79%. Through the rest of the night, these clouds thicken. We drop back to about 31, and we are going to get a few light rain and snow showers, which you can already see starting to pop up on the Kansas side. A lot of this is not reaching the ground yet, but will, especially after midnight for us tonight. Very light. Here's Fort Scott, back towards Chanute, Independence, and then once you get into Greenwood County, you can see a little bit of light snow, definitely reaching the ground just to the east of Wichita, where you see the darker blue. So this is going to kind of push in as we go through the overnight hours. It's very weak. It's a weak little wave that's going to rotate through, and it kind of intensifies once it passes by. And we just don't have a lot of moisture with it due to that first system that gave us all the rain over the past couple days. All right, let's go through time. We're going to stop at 3:30 in the morning. You can see a little bit of a rain-snow mix, especially on the Missouri side. On the Kansas side, I would not expect much as this passes through. A little bit of light snow continues to drop through. So here's southwestern Missouri. We're looking at 6:30 in the morning. As we continue through the morning hours, most of this is gone by 9 or 10, but you can see it's cold. We're sitting near freezing. And then finally, early afternoon, sunshine starts to pop back out, and we warm up a little bit more as we make it up right around 40 or 41 degrees. We clear out tomorrow night. We drop cold all the way down into the lower 20s. We get southerly winds back on Saturday, and this is going to help us warm up and actually set us up for a pretty good weekend, Super Bowl weekend for Saturday and Sunday. All right, any snowfall tonight, accumulations would be very light, a dusting, maybe upwards of a 1/2 inch. mainly on the grassy surfaces, but still something we'll keep our eyes on. So we'll start with clouds, snow showers, end with sunshine, high temp right around 41 as we go into the afternoon. Let's go 50 on Saturday, 56 on Super Bowl Sunday. So the weekend's just fantastic. We get back into chances for rain, moving in late Monday into Tuesday. Good chances for rain, even showers and thunderstorms, which is Valentine's Day. We'll look a little more deep into next week here in just a bit.
Sunny, breezy, perfect Super Bowl weekend.
Yeah, not bad at all.
There may be some people that maybe even hopping on the grill with those temps.
You got to.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just got to.
All right, thank you, Doug.
Yep.
Coming up, Southwest Airlines is having a Senate hearing.
Southwest Airlines in the hot seat in Congress following their holiday flight cancellation meltdown. I'm Lydia Hu in New York City. I've got the details coming up.
This after a month of straight declines that spurred some home buying. Freddie Mac says the rate on a 30-year fixed mortgage inched up to 6.12%, up 0.03% from the week prior, while the volume of the mortgage applications to purchase a home increased 3% last week. Purchase activity remains 37% lower than the same time last year. Florida lawmakers have voted to give Governor Ron DeSantis new power over the state's Disney theme parks. Under legislation, the state will take over the Reedy Creek Improvement District, a 35-year-old government body that has given Disney control over the land around its theme parks in the Orlando area. The district's current board would be placed by a 5-member board chosen by the Republican governor. Republicans hold a supermajority in the Florida House, which passed the measure by an 82-31 vote. The GOP-led state Senate is now expected to take up the bill. The move to take over Reedy Creek is the latest step in a dispute between DeSantis and Disney over a bill to restrict certain classroom instruction about sexual orientation and gender identity. DeSantis signed the bill into law over the objections of Disney officials. Southwest Airlines facing Congress today. The airline has been in hot water since December after millions of people were left stranded during the Christmas holiday. A storm grounded planes across many airlines, but Southwest was not able to recover. It took nearly a week for operations to get back up and running. Fox News correspondent Lydia Hu has more on this story.
When are you going to complete that upgrade? How are you addressing that de-icing in those areas that obviously Denver, Chicago, need the extra equipment?
Southwest Airlines Chief Operating Officer in the hot seat Thursday, answering questions from senators about his airline's Christmas meltdown.
So why did this happen? Let me be clear, we messed up.
The carrier came under intense fire after canceling more than 16,000 flights back in December due to inclement weather around the country. More than 2 million passengers were left stranded and scrambling to find a way home during an already hectic holiday travel season. During the hearing, senators read statements from some of those impacted in their district.
Diane Martinez needed her epilepsy medicine and had to drive 10 hours from Charleston to Nashville because Southwest had no available flights for days. Kate D. missed her own wedding despite booking a flight scheduled to land more than 2 days before her wedding.
Watterson says since December, Southwest has improved its operating systems, processed all refunds, and completed nearly all reimbursement requests.
We are intensely focused on reducing the risk of repeating the operational disruption we had in December and repairing the trust.
The airline is currently in the process of negotiating new contracts with some of its employees, including the pilots and flight attendants. In New York City, Lydia Hu, Fox News.
Next, honoring Tyree Nichols with a skate park. Legendary skateboarder Tony Hawk wants to help build a skate park in Tyree Nichols' honor. Hawk shared in an Instagram post that he is selling autographed pictures of himself along with BMX biker Rick Thorne, and a portion of the proceeds will benefit the Tyree Nichols Memorial Fund. Hawk called Nichols a talented skater and said that he wanted to keep Tyree's legacy alive by helping to create a free and inclusive skate park in his name. Nichols' death after he was beaten and arrested by Memphis police gained national attention. The Nichols' family have already said they would use some of the money the family raised on the GoFundMe to help build the skate park. So far, GoFundMe has raised more than $1 million to date. 30 more minutes of news, weather, and sports coming your way. And coming up, we'll meet a Philadelphia Eagles fan living behind enemy lines in Chiefs Kingdom. Plus,
music icon Rihanna is giving us a sneak peek at her first performance in years. I'm Madla Rivera in Glendale, Arizona, with why she feels Super Bowl Sunday is the right time to take the stage.
now this may be Chiefs Kingdom, but there's still some Eagles fans in the 4 states. KOAM Shagun Bomdali spoke with a Philadelphia native who's been living behind enemy lines.
Greg Ocho, a man born and raised in Philadelphia, is confident that his childhood team, the Eagles, will win the Super Bowl on Sunday.
I may live here now, but I'm from Philly. I've always rooted for my home team, whether it be the Eagles, the Phillies, the Flyers, anybody.
Greg says although he is in enemy territory, the people of Missouri has been kind to him.
There's very few Eagles fans around here. There's some more came out of the woodwork since they're in the Super Bowl, but not too many. I live in Missouri. I like the Chiefs. They have a good coach and they have a good team, but I have to go with my home team.
The military brought Greg to Missouri.
Right here. Uncle Sam brought me down here. I was in the military and moved to North Carolina, from North Carolina to Texas to Arkansas. And then I met this young lady right here, and she lives up here, so we moved up here.
Despite he is in enemy territory, Greg says he will continue to root for his home team.
I root for my home team. I am not one of those fly by the seat of your pants people who, wherever I live, I root for. I stick with my home team. I was born and raised in Philadelphia. I went to school in Philadelphia, so that's who I root for.
Reporting in Joplin, Shagun Bomdali, KOAM News.
Greg predicts that the final score will be 24-14 in favor of the Eagles. Kansas City Chiefs fans are everywhere in the 4 states, but we can't forget about the Philadelphia Eagles fans like Greg. In a sea of red, one Joplin teacher is secretly cheering for a different team. Tim Gubera grew up in Joplin and is, yes, you guessed it, a Philadelphia Eagles fan. This Eagles fan knows he is in Chiefs territory and shows his team spirit secretly. But what if the Eagles win?
I'm not coming to work. No matter what, it's going to be a lot of fun. And when we get back here, it adds a bit of excitement to the game because, you know, if you win, you got some points that you get to use and some things you get to say to kind of get under some people's skin a little bit.
Like the Montagues and Capulets, Gobert says his family is split with both Eagles and Chiefs fans. Students in McDonald County, Missouri are ready for Sunday as they show off their spirit. Today was Touchdown Thursday in the district. Students were encouraged to wear their favorite Chiefs shirt.
Excited. I enjoy sharing my enthusiasm about the Chiefs with all the kids and letting them show their school spirit and supporting them too.
Tomorrow, McDonald County students will celebrate Fired Up Friday. Music fans worldwide have been waiting to see music superstar Rihanna take one of the biggest stages of her career. Now, the halftime headliner is giving us a few details about her big show. Fox News correspondent Madeline Rivera is in Glendale, Arizona with the details.
Everyone is looking forward to the matchup between the Eagles and the Chiefs, but today we're learning more about Sunday's halftime show.
We're excited to do the Super Bowl.
Music superstar Rihanna making her long-awaited return to stage as the headliner of Sunday's Super Bowl halftime show. The Don't Stop the Music singer only has 13 minutes before she has to take a bow. Rihanna tight-lipped about her set list, saying she tried an estimated 39 different versions before landing on the final lineup of songs.
It's going to be a celebration of my catalog in the best way that we could have put it together.
It's been years since her last public performance, but Rihanna says she knew this was the right time to resurface after giving birth to her son last year.
When you become a mom, there's something that just happens where you feel like you could take on the world.
If you want to catch Rihanna's performance in person, you're going to need a ticket to the big game, and that's going to set you back thousands. According to StubHub, if you buy a ticket now, it'll cost you about $3,200 to get into State Farm Stadium. Average ticket prices going for nearly $7,000. But fans are willing to pay to see their team battle it out on the gridiron.
They're saying, okay, I'm going to do this once in a generation. I'm going to go once in my life. And so it's easier to justify as sort of that bucket list trip.
The Super Bowl experience in downtown Phoenix is open again after a short break. More than 70,000 people came through on opening weekend, the second highest fan welcome after 2012 in Indianapolis. In Glendale, Arizona, Mather Rivera, Fox News.
A bit later, the latest on the Alec Murdaugh murder trial.
Alec Murdaugh's longtime friend takes the stand in his double murder trial. I'm Jonathan Seri in Atlanta. I'll have details coming up.
Well, after all the rain that we had over the past couple days, at least we got some sunshine back out there for us today. Temperatures into the 50s during the afternoon, which is always nice to see. We are cooling off now. Upper 30s, northern counties to near 40, right through the heart of the four-state area, and then you hit the lower 40s once you get into our southern counties. But most of us, we are going to be dropping off all the way down near freezing later on tonight. A lot of clouds. We are going to have some light rain and snow showers across portions of the region by the time we head into the morning hours. You can already see these popping up. A lot of this is not reaching the ground as of yet, but it will as we go through the overnight hours. A few little showers really from Independence over toward Parsons and then up toward Fort Scott. But we are starting to get a little bit of snow just north of Yates Center, out through Greenwood County, Eureka, and then all the way back toward just east of Wichita. And this is going to kind of sink off toward southeast. Have this weak wave right now. It actually intensifies as it passes by. It just doesn't have a lot of moisture to work with due to the system that we just saw kind of robbed all the moisture out of the atmosphere. All right, let's go through time. Here's 3:30 in the morning. A band of light snow kind of develops along the I-44 corridor. There could be a few little intense bands within this little tiny band that may last for 5 or 10 minutes, but it's not going to drop a lot of snow, but it's going to be light snow showers, temperatures hovering just above freezing. Here's 6:30 in the morning, kind of falls apart by 8, 9, 10 o'clock in the morning, pretty much out of here. The clouds stick around into the early afternoon, but once we get after about 3, 4 o'clock, I think most of us are going to start to see sunshine across the region. Just kind of chilly, high temps right around 40. Look at this, cold tomorrow night, 23 in Nevada, 22 in Chautauqua. Pineville down to 26. Southerly winds return on Saturday, and this sets us up for a pretty good Super Bowl weekend. We're going to have great weather as we go into Saturday and Sunday ahead of our next storm system early next week. All right, snowfall amounts, it's not going to be much, mainly on the grassy surfaces, but if we do get some accumulations, a dusting upwards of a ½ an inch, you can see not much once you get into our northwestern counties, but still something we'll watch. We'll start with the clouds, snow showers, and then we'll warm. 35 by noon, high temp only right around 40 during the afternoon, so it is going to be a chilly day for us. Let's jump to Sunday, Super Bowl Sunday. Heading out to any parties, 3 p.m., we're going to be into the 50s. We are going to have a lot of clouds, but not a big deal. 51 by 6, and then we'll drop back to about 43 by 9 p.m. But overall, that's pretty good as we head into Super Bowl Sunday. All right, 40 tomorrow, 50 on Saturday, 56 Sunday, 55s Monday and Tuesday. Rain starts to sneak in late Monday into Tuesday. Good chances for showers and thunderstorms. Another wave late Wednesday into Thursday that could give us a little bit of a mix, but a lot of question marks as we get past about next Wednesday or Thursday. But at least we're going to see a fantastic weekend for us this weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. And then it's just awesome to see that this weekend and Super Bowl Sunday is smack dab in the middle of a little bit of rain, lots of rain next week potentially with some wintry mix it looks like we got in there. So,
yeah, not bad.
It's going to make us enjoy it that much more.
Yes, it will.
All right, thank you, Doug. Coming up in sports, we'll hear from Chiefs quarterback Patrick Mahomes on his ankle injury ahead of Super Bowl Sunday. Plus, the Missouri Southern women prepare for Saturday's rivalry game against Pittsburgh State. We'll hear from the Lions after the break.
Well, we're down to just 3 days until Super Bowl 57. Kansas City Chiefs and Philadelphia Eagles meet Sunday in Arizona to crown the next world champions. Now, the two quarterbacks in this game, Patrick Mahomes for the Chiefs and Jalen Hurts for the Philadelphia Eagles, are two of the best in the league. They've both been dealing with injuries, though. Hurts sprained his shoulder in Week 15. Mahomes sprained his ankle in the Chiefs' playoff opener against Jacksonville. Now here's Mahomes on where he's at in his recovery.
I don't think you'll know exactly until you get to game day. I'm definitely in a better spot. I definitely can move around better than I was moving last week or 2 weeks ago. And so it's just trying to continue to get the treatment and the rehab and get to as close as I can to 100%, and then rely on some adrenaline to let me do a little bit extra when I'm on the field.
Missouri Southern Lions are off to a hot start to the baseball season. Last week, Southern went 4-0 on opening weekend, playing all 4 games at home. Now tonight, aiming for a 5-0 start on the road for the first time, facing Henderson State. That one is over. Missouri Southern holds on to win a good one, 4-3. Will Doherty goes 1 for 3 with a double and a pair of RBIs. Well, this week is rivalry week for Pitt State and Missouri Southern basketball. The 2 teams meet Saturday in Pittsburgh in their second matchup of the season. On the women's side, the Lions won 9 straight, but Pittsburgh State won the last meeting 87-79 in early January. In that meeting, the Gorillas out-rebounded the Lions 40-27, and they also shot the ball pretty well, going 50% from the field and 55% from 3. So for the Lions, being better on the boards and being better on the defensive end is the focus heading into the weekend.
Last time we just struggled defensively, but I think we're a completely different team than we were last time we played them, so I think this time around our defense will definitely have been tuned up.
They shot it extremely well. I think the first half they were like 8 for 12 from the three-point line. Then the second half they didn't shoot as well from the 3, but Gerber really hurt us in the paint. They went to her a lot in the second half. I think she ended up like 20 and 10 on us, so she was a big factor in the second half. But offensively, they're just so good. They shot it so well. They shot over 50% overall. I'm going to say they shot like 55% from the three-point line. And anytime you let that team shoot that well, you're not going to beat them. They'll beat anybody in the country if you let them shoot like that.
The NFL awards ceremony is tonight in Phoenix, Arizona, and in a surprise to really nobody, just here in the last few minutes, Chiefs quarterback Patrick Mahomes has been named the league's MVP. Now, for Mahomes, it's his second career MVP. This season, he threw for 5,200 yards, 41 touchdowns, leading the league in both categories. His first MVP came in 2018 when he threw for 5,000 yards and 50 touchdowns. Mahomes is now one of just 10 players in NFL history to win multiple MVP awards. And full disclosure here, we had him winning the MVP at the top of the sports segment there.
Yeah.
He hadn't won it yet when I walked down here. He won it when I started this segment. We drug it to the bottom. We got it in because this is a professional operation here.
And he was just 2 votes away from becoming the second unanimous MVP.
I don't know how you don't vote him MVP, but it's the way it goes.
Yeah, I mean, it always goes that way for the best player. There's always that one person that wants to be a contrarian, and but anybody in their right state of mind would know that Patrick Mahomes should have been MVP this year.
Sure.
All right, well, that's it for sports. We're back with more after this. It's the 3rd week in the double murder trial of disgraced former attorney Alec Murdaugh. Today, more witnesses testified about his alleged financial crimes. Fox News correspondent Jonathan Siri has more.
Big reputation. Alec had a big reputation.
Prosecutors in Alec Murdaugh's double murder trial laying out more evidence about his alleged financial crimes. They suggest Murdaugh killed his wife Maggie and their son Paul to prevent an alleged embezzlement scheme from being exposed. Taking the stand Thursday, attorney Chris Wilson, Murdaugh's longtime friend who partnered with his firm on a case. Alec is accused of stealing nearly $800,000 in fee checks from that case that were supposed to go directly to his firm.
He explained he was going to put those monies into an annuity and that the checks needed to be made payable directly to him instead of to his firm so that he could do that.
Murdaugh spoke with Wilson on the phone minutes after prosecutors say he fatally shot his wife and son. Wilson testified that 3 months later, he confronted his friend about the missing funds. Alec allegedly admitted to the theft, saying he had an opioid addiction.
Shocked, betrayed, mad, never saw it, never suspected it, drugs or money.
On cross-examination, the defense questioned Wilson about Alec and Maggie's relationship a week before the murders.
Maggie and Alex getting along as far as you knew?
Yes, sir.
Was it a fun time had by everyone, best you could tell?
Yes, sir.
After a verdict is reached in this case, Murdaugh will stand trial on financial and drug-related charges. In Atlanta, Jonathan Siri, Fox News.
Coming up, we'll take a look at what's new in theaters and streaming. Rom-coms and re-releases make up several Valentine's Day themed movies new in theaters and streaming this week. Here's Fox's Ashley Dvorkin.
We're gonna wake them up with a wave of passion they've never felt before.
Hollywood is all about heart and heartthrobs this week, with several Valentine's Day timed releases, including Magic Mike's Last Stand, starring Channing Tatum and Salma Hayek. The franchise continues with Mike Lane on stage once again, when a wealthy socialite lures him to London with an offer and an agenda of her own.
I've got you. I won't let go.
The epic love story of Jack and Rose is remastered for a big screen re-release. James Cameron's Academy Award Best Picture winner Titanic is back in theaters to celebrate the film's 25th anniversary.
He is into you.
Love is in the air and streaming, with a couple new rom-coms, including Your Place or Mine on Netflix. Reese Witherspoon and Ashton Kutcher star in the story of best friends and polar opposites on opposite sides of the country, who swap houses and find it may switch up what they're really looking for.
This has gone way too far.
Prime Video adds Somebody I Used to Know, directed by Dave Franco, co-written by Franco and his wife, star Allison Brie. Brie plays a workaholic who returns to her hometown, where she runs into her first love and learns he's engaged to a woman whose confidence reminds her of who she used to be.
Can we just give this a chance?
And Paramount Plus has At Midnight, about a hotel manager, movie star, and said movie star's cheating co-star boyfriend, all at the same hotel in Mexico, where meetings at midnight may lead to an unexpected romance.
You're totally falling for her.
In Hollywood, Ashley Dvorkin, Fox News.
Well, that's our time for tonight, and thank you all so much for joining us. But before you go, we'll leave you with a video of hippos at the Dallas Zoo enjoying some water play time. Be safe, and we'll do this all again tomorrow. See you then.